Hello everyone, my name is Muir and we've got something new for you today. However, before we get into the video, I'd like to take a moment to tell you that nearly 70% of people who watch our videos are not subscribed. If you're not subscribed, you could do me a huge favor by liking the video, commenting below, subscribing to the channel, and ringing that bell. It really helps out the channel and lets me know that you're liking what I'm making. Alright, without further ado, let's get into the video. Hello everyone, my name is Muir and this is Starsector version 0.95.1 ARC6, and this is the new and improved Ultimate Battle Carrier. That is the 14th Battle Group Legion, and well, we have some stuff built in. So very similar to the Medley Mora Plus, we have reinforced bulkheads, heavy armor, and expanded missile racks. We have something a little bit different. We're using Reapers, so what else are we doing? Well, we have hardened shields, that's pretty standard, expanded crew deck, and ECCN package. So, these and these are more powerful with ECCN packages, especially against other ships. Against stations, it won't make that big of a difference. They'll get shot down less, but that's about it. But against other capitals and cruisers, these actually have a chance to hit, because they move faster, and these will also hit more often, because they move faster. But other than that, it's by and large the same. The capacitors and vents are similar. The vents are the same, the capacitors are far lower. But, and also we have the expanded crew deck, so these come out faster. That's what we were lacking in the original version of this. So, this is the fuel range if you have two Prometheuses. And aside from that, everything is pretty much the same. We lost one of these to get another of those. That's about it. So if you wanted to get over here to the Wander Nebula, you would just go to, and you know, you come over here to Salamanca, and, well, you can do it. So it's not too bad. Now, I remember the Super Redactor was over here, but I want to go and test this against the, against a proper Nexus, and against a super redacted fleet. So let's go do that. Let's go try to find ourselves some friends. Ah, interesting. Wonderful. Are there any 5 stars here against this fleet? I don't think there's going to be, but that's pretty much the strongest that they've got. So we're going to try and get only that one. Because we only want to fight this guy. Don't want to fight the others. What we can do is we can juke them. Because we can teleport because we're magic. And, you know, split off some of them. Then again, we can confuse them. Because again, we are magic. Now this guy, we're going to have him come off with us. Okay, we're going to be within their sensor range. So this is the one we want to fight, not that one. Excellent. Just continue dragging him away, and it looks like that's going to work out just fine for us. So we're going to quick save before we fight him, just because why not? And now let's just let them do their thing. So they're all super jacked up. They have all these fighters, and these guys are going to get wrecked. So let's go ahead and move to engage. And as you can see, we can pump them out for 22 per. So that's really not good for them. We're gonna have these guys go over there because we don't want them to split up, and plus it's going to take them a while to get anywhere anyway. So as soon as we get this one, we might be able to afford to toss out another one of these guys. Not too sure if we'll be able to though. We'll see. Now there are fewer fighters, but still enough to cause the game to lag quite a bit. So now that that is ours, let's just see if we can push out another one. We can't. That's fine. Let's go ahead and full assault at this point. So, they're going to immediately start shooting all their missiles. And as you can see, those missiles move way faster. They can actually hit. They seem to actually be able to hit things. Now he has lots more armor, so I'm not too worried about this guy. And all those missiles coming in. Doing quite a bit better. Now the only problem that the Legion has is that while it is nice and heavily armored, it really doesn't have the same punch everything else does. However, these are capitals. That's a capital. They might be able to do something about that capital. They'll definitely be able to start punching his shields down. Because he's going to have to start choosing. Is he going to just eat some of that damage, or is he going to back off? It looks like he's going to choose to back off a little bit. But he's going to come back in. He's a little confident. All these guys coming in to do all that extra damage. Go ahead and toss him in. No. Full assault, guys. As you can see, he hasn't been overloaded yet. He's taking some damage. Some of his stuff is getting overloaded. If we look at him, yeah, he's got some damage on him. The main strength here is that these can close in and just do a bunch of damage to the enemy ships without needing to drown them in fighters. So that did some damage up there. He's dead. And this Radiant is having to run away. Now, once all of the support ships are dead, they are going to get completely annihilated. Just absolutely no chance whatsoever. But because there are more of them, and these ships are going to have some problems chasing them down, there is the whole point where we will take some losses until we're taking care of their support craft. At that point, well, we're pretty much good. As you can see, his flux is pretty high. And the only thing and since missiles can move through allied ships most of the time, we can pretty much just allow all of our ships to fire at the same time on something. So this guy's as good as dead. You may not know it yet, but he's as good as dead. And remember, we turned on full assault, and we really didn't do much else. So he's gone. That's good. Anybody else to throw in? No. These guys are surviving pretty nicely. That guy's dead. These guys are just doing their things. This Radiant is starting to take quite a bit of damage. He's probably going to die soon. And down he goes. Let's just toss in another one, because why not? We've got plenty. And if this was normal play, so long as we won the fight, we'd be fine. So he's probably going to kill him. This guy's already having problems, and instead of them drowning in fighters, instead they're drowning in missiles and fighters. And just getting chased down by things. And it's when they start to get overwhelmed that they just flat out die. So yeah. Killed that, killed the other one. We might end up with another Radiant out here, or another 2 Radiants out here. Though there might be something about the game that prevents it from there being multiple Radiants, I'm not sure. This guy is kind of just like, hey y'all, watch this, but it doesn't really matter when all of your friends can just charge right in. But this Radiant is now being focused by 2 of the battle carriers, 4 of the battle carriers basically. So once his shields start going down, he's going to very rapidly start having lots of problems. And down he goes. Unfortunately, all this space debris does get in the way of missiles, but it's not going to matter. They can just fight their way through it. These guys, they have pretty heavy armaments. So down that one goes, and this guy's trying to flank. He wants to step up against this guy. That's not going to end well for him, unless he just goes down and attacks. But, okay, that Lumen just died. This guy's about to die, probably, yeah. And now, all these guys are gonna just slam straight into this. He's gonna get chased down and killed by him. Because he has to choose to keep his shields up or not. And plus, the Legion can just close in. But he might be out of his good missiles, though. His heavy damaging missiles. Nope, he's not. But he can just stay in range of this guy and just keep shooting him until he dies. There's really not much he can do about it. So this Legion's able to just keep closing in and doing extra damage, and slamming him with all these missiles. And that's just going to be a one-sided fight. This guy is, well, he's stepping up against all these Legions, so he's super dead right now. He doesn't realize it. He's trying to do what he can. He got one of them. But at what cost? He won the battle, but he lost the war. He zigged when he should have zagged. There comes in their last Radiant. It's not going to stand much of a chance. Remember, near the end of last time when we were using the Moras, we were down to almost like our last 3 Moras. Here, yeah, we're perfectly fine. We are just carving through the enemy at the moment. And, you know, this Legion, 0 F's given. He's like, whatever, I got this. And, well, everyone's now focusing on this guy a little bit. So there goes another one of those Brilliants. That Brilliant just decided to, you know, he just decided to eat all those missiles. He was like, whatever, I've got this. Giga Chad mode, activate. And then he exploded. Let's throw out our next one. And yeah, this is going to be incredibly one-sided against this poor Radiant. Who is, as of yet, getting riggedy wrecked. So the nice part about those Cyclone missile launchers, I think that's what they're called. No. Merv? Missile? I think those are Mervs. The nice thing about them... Uh-oh. Here comes the missiles. The nice thing about him is that those can be used at close range as long as they split into multiple missiles. They can really, all of them can hit, if they can all hit. And down that Legion goes, but down this Radiant goes then. And the battle is over. We lost some ships, but not many. Let's go to ship recovery. Let's go and get our capitals back. Take all the stuff, and then how are we doing in terms of population? Well, we have about, 10,000 more, like 9,000 or 8,000 more crew than we need, and we lost, like 2,000 crew. We're still more than well off in terms of defeating these guys. So what about the ships that we lost? Well, because of the ability that we have, this has absolutely no problem. We could throw these in the combat again. It wouldn't be good, but we could if we needed to. All we need to do is win the fight. But alright, let's load again, and let's instead go after a Remnant Nexus. Remember, that is actually the goal. Or one of them. So let's go ahead and engage this guy. And we're just going to throw as many as we can into the fray. Let's full assault and see how well this works. Now again, because missiles can pass through friendly ships, this creates a huge problem for the enemy. And that, well, all of these guys' missiles can shoot their enemy, can shoot the enemy nexus. All of their missiles, when they split apart, can hit the enemy nexus. So, enemy nexus has a huge problem in that it's going to get absolutely bombarded by everything. These guys can all close the distances pretty well. And the initial barrage as it started up. Now that barrage is going to keep up at this point. And sure, once the fighters get involved, the many more of the missiles will actually connect. But this Nexus is as good as dead at this point. You might take some of the legions with it, but not many. All those missiles, they do more damage now. Well, they don't do more damage, but they have a higher chance of hitting. They have more hit points. So the Nexus is going to struggle shooting them down. Mixed with all the fighters into the fray, this is going to be a very one-sided affair. As you can see, it's already overloaded. Which means now all those missiles are just free damage onto the enemy Nexus. And just to point out, we have not lost a single legion yet. But we have forced the enemy to bring their shields down on this lower section already. And it's just over and over forcing them to lower their shields. And that's just going to kill them little by little more. Right, just the sheer power of all those missiles. Now, yeah, they're going to get a few revolutions in there, but realistically speaking, no, they're not going to do much. They're going to start losing components left and right, and once that really starts up, the battle is just going to be over. But alright, they're starting to lose components. Oddly enough, them losing components helps them, because those components go and block missiles. But, as you can see, their shields just are not able to keep up this kind of damage. There goes, I think that was the shield module, so now this is fully exposed. And again, remember the Remnant stations, they combine the best of the low, medium, and high-tech stations. So, the only thing this doesn't have is the ability to put mines out there. That really wouldn't do that much against these carriers anyway. Sure, it would clear fighters, but it wouldn't really do much to the carriers themselves. But alright, the battle should be over, and there we go. We did not lose a single legion in that fight. That's insane. Usually, taking on those things is just absolute death. Or like half your... We lost nothing, which is pretty good. Alright, so let's go check, let's actually go load, and then check again to see if we can get the blueprint for these ultra ships. Let's go over to DS1, and let's see if there is the guy here that we want to talk to. The guy with the paper book. Doesn't look like it. Can we... Okay, so let's look at his illegal weapons. So, you can't make the 14th battle group one, right? Because if you can, that makes it worth it, but you can't. Because I don't... I've heard people say that you can get the blueprint, but I don't... I'm skeptical. Right, so he doesn't have anything that I want. What about over here? And let's see... Shadowy, Mr. Shadows... Mr. Bounties, and Mr. Pellets. Gotcha. And what about you? Bounties, contracts, and pellet. What about you? No. Etu? We've already been here, haven't we? Dark Corner. Mr. Underworld, and what about you? So that guy, he has a chance to show up kind of anywhere. You won't be able to zoom out this much. You won't be able to zoom out this much in normal play. I'm using dev mode so that things go a little bit faster. Doesn't look like I can find Mr. Books. So, let's go over to here-ish, I think. Because I want to test this against the Ultra deck, but I need to find him first. I recall that it was sort of out of the middle of nowhere. I think it's definitely over here near rah, rah, rah. Oh, there it is. So, we have a problem. That is, we don't have transverse jump yet. So, with our, infinite story points, let's go ahead and give ourselves transverse jump so that we can jump in to this system. Alright, so we have that. That's the venture from the story, and we are going to just reassign that. Alright, so how well does this fleet stack up against him? Well, he's a 2-star now. So, not well for him. Let's go ahead and move to engage. Let's just throw everything we've got and tell them to full assault. So, they're all about missiles, and he's all about all these modes that actually kind of hard counter missiles. Now, those modes are incredibly dangerous. Except, we were able to mostly ignore them. Now, it does pump out lots of motes. Looks like they're going after a different ship, which is fantastic. But when it's in peace phase, it's really just dumping those motes out there. But so long as it keeps using them against different ships, it won't really do much. They really just clear the fighters. But as you can see, he's kind of just stuck in peace phase and can't really do much. But the strength here of that is that now it's managing to take out most of the missiles. So, we have a bit of a problem here for the 14th Battle Fleet ships. And that is, they kind of need to be able to put some damage on it. Because it's able to stay there at maximum, able to stay at max range there. And they're struggling to put any kind of damage on this. So what they kind of need to do is just rush their way over there. As you can see, it's able to capitalize on other ships being fluxed out, being overloaded. But if these guys would just send in all their fighters, they could clear a lot of those motes pretty quickly. They are having some problems. But we can already see, it's taking a lot of armor damage in the front. Fringe up on this guy so we don't get kicked out when he dies. And, yeah, it seems to be doing pretty well for itself. We have somebody charging in, and down that Legion goes. So let's go ahead and throw in another one. And just let them do their thing. Now, with this overloaded almost all the time, it kind of can't really use as many of its weapons as it would like. This is really the doom of these ships, the phase ships in general. They need to have low flux to be able to do anything, but because it's faster than the Legions, despite all these problems, and because its modes are hard countering all of its missiles, all of their missiles, it doesn't have as many problems as it would normally have. Now, unfortunately, many of those Reapers, because the shields on the Legion extend out more than they do on the Mora, the Legion, the Vulcan cannons on the Legion are less useful for shooting down stuff like Reapers. But as you can see, it's still doing its thing. That seems to be alright. Overloaded that guy, and looks like the fighters are now going in, getting a lot more missiles hitting the redacted ship here. And when it's in peace, so the motes are coming out of this at the same rate regardless the same rate for this ship, regardless if it's in P-space or in normal space. What this means is that when it goes into P-space, it pumps out the motes a lot faster. They also seem to have given it some Omega weapons, some of which you can find in this system. But it's now having to try and hide from all these missiles in P-space. It's going to have to come back out, and it seems to have taken a decent amount of damage. It does try charging in all of its motes to do some damage, but it really isn't able to do that much. This guy coming in, all these missiles, some of them connect, and the ziggurat is slowly taking more and more damage. As you can see, it's having to just go in and out of P-space because it's being harassed so much. But even this just does not stand up against this fleet. There it goes. There's just not much it can do. But alright, then we can do ship recovery. We get our one legion that we lost back. And look through the recording, and if you want, you can pick up the ziggurats. But yeah, there we go. So these ships are just outrageously dangerous in their current form. Let's go ahead and load, though. Also, if you go over here, I think it is, you can find some more Omega weapons. So we're just going to quickly go through it because we don't want to spend time doing that. And so when we scavenge them, and then we scavenge the actual location, we get all these Omega weapons, which are basically super weapons in the game. Yeah. Let's go ahead and load, and then head back to Penelope's stop. But this fleet is absolute death to anything that comes in contact with it. Last time we watched them kill we watched them kill Omega's fleet, and they're just very good at what they do. But let's check one more time to see if Mr. Paperback is here. I don't think he is going to be. But if he is, that'd be nice. Mr. Paperback. Let's try this one. So, it doesn't look like Paperback's going to be around, but just know that I heard that you can get the blueprints for the 14th Battle Group Legions from Mr. Paperback, from the Historian. Once you have pretty much every single other blueprint in the game, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. When we go over here to the command console, it's a mod by the way, and we look for the 14th Battle Group map, we can spawn the 14th Battle Group, or we say list blueprint, because blueprints. So list maybe item. We can see that, and then we can see blueprints, list items, blueprints. Doesn't seem to do much for us. Anyway, the thing is, you may or may not be able to get the blueprint for the 14th Battle Group. If you can, that's great. If you can't, and it is what it is, maybe you can find some, like a handful. But they are the ultimate battle carrier in the game, unmodded. So I showed this off last time. But how I recommend you build is start with this, go there, get these two and get that. So rush to this. After that, those two do not require officers. And that one doesn't require officers. So then rush to there. After that, just get that one. That allows you to put everything on, meaning that ultimately this is a late game and in-game carrier build, but realistically speaking, you don't need many of these built in. You can do away with the heavy armor and save yourself 20 points. Well, 40, actually, I think in this case. I think it's worth 40. I think it's worth 40 on this size. But yeah, just an enormous amount. You could really increase your vents, really increase your capacitors after that. But yeah, with this ship, it's absolute death. And hopefully you'll be able to get more of these. I think the designers realize the ship is really powerful and uses pretty much the best of everything in the game, or can. And so they made it so you couldn't get it. That's an assumption of mine. I don't know if it's accurate or not. But yeah. Alright guys, my name is Muir. This has been Starsector version 0.95.1a. Go ahead, leave me a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and just share the video with whoever you think would like it. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.